charm. I say 3 times the charm because number one, we was trying to get on the air about 20 minutes ago. Let me tell you, YouTube, before we even say anything, and by the way, welcome to Jay and James Sunday on the Monday, the first episode of the new year, even though it's 3 months past due.
Woo!
YouTube, stop doing this to me, okay? Every time we go on a little break, you always find a way to change it up. One, I gotta say this for praises, guys. Google, I like the new. I like that you brought back the YouTube format of live streaming. We had that before. You guys have actually discontinued it, which understandably because of Hangout and everything else. But obviously, Hangout was supposed to be part of the Google Plus. Do anybody still use Google Plus these days?
Probably someone's grandpa somewhere.
I don't even. I've almost. I actually, if it wasn't for the fact I get a few messages from my Yahoo account, I keep forgetting that Yahoo Plus still exists.
Yahoo
But
Plus exists?
Google. I didn't say Yahoo.
Oh, I thought you said Yahoo, and that really fucking freaked me out.
Yahoo did had a messenger board though. They did have that one of those. Did try to be like on the other places like Facebook, Google. Boy, we got a lot to talk about Facebook, man. We have a lot to talk about Facebook, but I'm glad you reminded me. But it never got off the ground. I think Yahoo Messenger still exists, but I don't think anybody uses it as much.
Oh, God, no.
But Google had a Hangout, and which we're doing right here. And like I say, love the Hangout. But I think the major complaint, from what I understand, is if you had a cell phone and you want to contact with somebody using Google Hangout, it doesn't really translate. You can do live stream on your cell phone, whereas for the Yahoo Stream, I'm not talking about YouTube Stream. Let me get that straight. I don't want to rumble here. You could actually do streaming on your cell phone and on your laptop, desktop computer, also your tablet. So that's why I think they've brought that back. The problem is you got to go searching for it. If you still want to use the Hangout, you still got to search the globe or pretty much the filter of all the Google, the YouTube stuff to find Hangout. Because I did not expect to click on the usual icon. I thought they changed the icon because they do that a lot, where you go and get your variety where you want to upload a video or just do a live stream. No, it just sent me right straight to a live stream. I'm like, okay, it looks great. It looks crystal. I mean, you get clear quality. It's definitely faster, definitely right to the point. But I couldn't give Josh the link, even though for some odd reason they said you can actually connect with people, but I just don't know how. So something you guys gonna have to work with. If you're gonna change something up, at least give a tutorial or something so that way people know how to use the new format. But and I'm not mad about it. I think it's good. I think it's good to have that option, and I am gonna be looking forward to using it for my more practical videos. Not for my plays though, but more practical videos. With that being said, it's great to be back. It's been a few long months. We were supposed to come back in January, and obviously that didn't happen. For one thing, Josh had some personal matters she wanted to deal with. Of course, there was supposed to be a movement with you guys, which I don't know if it happened or not, but it was pretty much dealing with that. Valentine's Day, we don't mess with nobody's personal relationships and that kind of go. I'm not gonna get any further than that.
Oh God, it was really great. We're doing a little bit of guard duty that on good nights is very boring. And so we're coming back it ended around 11. And so we're driving back around midnight. And so Revs is like, oh, I need to stop by CVS for something. And I'm like, he told me what the something was. I just forgot, but I didn't tell him as he was going in, but I'm like, I'm going to see if he remembers what day it is. And he came out with some chocolate and a stuffed animal. Actually, 2 stuffed animals because one tiny little bear was on the box of chocolates. And he said as he was, picking out chocolate, I think one other guy was by him, and he's like, oh, so you want to keep your marriage?
Which By the way, there is a Deadpool on that. We're not going to get any further. I've still got my. I'm still haven't lost that bet yet, but you may surprise me, uh, and you may actually. This may be the big year. Who knows? Um, I am, but my Valentine wasn't that bored either. I spent it with my with someone I love, with someone I care for in Jersey. It was fun. It was entertaining. We had a good time. It was a good February. March, you're lucky you're in Florida because we had to deal with one storm after another storm after another storm. I'm getting tired of these storms right now. It has been a hectic March weather-wise for me and a lot of other associates. Let me fix my coat here. And it was just one crazy month. But the important thing is I couldn't do any podcasts because I had a lot of issues to deal with, personal issues, which you know about, Rep knows about, some of the guys at Mad Expression know about. So I didn't want to deal. I just want to get that out the way, deal with that a little bit. I know you have some stuff there to deal with. So I wanted to make sure the timing was right so that way we won't have to deal with no nonsense. We can have fun and we can enjoy ourselves. Kat, which is going to be our regular as well. She couldn't make it this weekend. I'm hoping she make it next weekend. The same with Reb. But we're here. Let's have some fun.
Yeah,
Let's get
Rex
some
is
stuff
going through his own things, and so he had, long story short, like really long story short, he had a very tiring night last night because it's very stressful. Something happened, so I'm like, yeah, I'm not fucking going to ask him. And just, if he had texted me earlier, I might have been like, yeah, this is he was a little not snappy last night just because he was stressed out. I'm like, yeah, I'm not fucking bothering that person. I'll do like a goodbye call, good night call, but it's like, yeah, you just have to give people space sometimes.
This has been a stressful month. I'm not even going to hold them towards it. And this month is just beginning, especially with my job, who is handling way too much than what they got, in terms of manpower and machine power. But that's the name of business here. But entertainment is getting more interesting by the day. I'm gonna start with the big question here. Okay, you're going to watch the movie. I'm going to watch the movie. I have already watched Black Panther, and with my girlfriend, she had fun with the movie. I enjoyed the film. But this is not the only Marvel universe that's coming out. Everybody's very much hype, a little bit overhyped for the Infinity Wars, which is the second to last movie to the next Avenger film, which I don't think they have a title yet. Originally, it was called Infinity Wars Part 1 and 2, and they just said, you know what? No, we're not going to do that. This is called this one Infinity Wars, and whatever the other film will be called, it will be called. But that's not the reason why I want to talk about here. We're noticing a trend, and the trend is not been as popular as when Marvel started it. Because let's be real, they was the one who started the cinematic universe trend. Some has been successful, of course, Star Wars being one, and the Marvel universe being another one. But there were others who has not been so successful. The Dark Universe comes to mind. It was dead before it even got started. We have the DCU that has struggled. Where the point is, you're hearing so much rumbling. And by the way, guys, great job for Comic Book Cast for doing that little historical piece on that, guys. If you ever get a chance, check them out. They did a fantastic job of covering the rise and fall of the DCEU. Now, I'm a little bit hesitant to say fall because keep in mind, I don't think it's over, but I do think they're going to do an about face and change their tactics. There is no way they're going to actually end that series the way they are. If you want my honest opinion, and Josh, I don't know if you've seen the movie, but if you did,
I haven't really kept up with the DCU.
Have you seen Justice League?
No, the only two movies of the DCU I've seen completely are Suicide Squad, both the theatrical and the actual good cut that makes it a decent movie. And then I've seen Wonder Woman. Those are the only two I've seen.
2 out of 5. Okay, that's not bad. I have seen, and I'm gonna put this as the Batman Superman trilogy, because really that's what this is really all about. I mean, you don't have to see Suicide Squad or Wonder Woman to understand what Justice League is coming from. They may be glimpses and hints of what happened in events of Wonder Woman in the movie, but it's not the peripheral balance of what is Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, and of course the Justice League. All three of those films, you can't watch one without the other. If you watch Man of Steel, you have a better understanding of what's going on between Batman v Superman. If you watch both Batman v Superman and Man of Steel, you really understand why the Justice League is in existence. And needless to say, if after seeing all the films together, I will say this. I'll put it this way. I liked it that to Man of Steel. I thought it was a very surprisingly good film. And I know a lot of people are mixed on how they portrayed it, but after seeing Superman 3 and 4 and how they sort of missed the jump on Batman Superman Returns, which I didn't think it was a bad movie, but I just felt there was too much fan service in that. This was a welcoming. Yeah, it was flawed, but I actually enjoyed it. We all know how I feel about Batman v Superman. Um, and these two films pretty much set the tone for Justice League. Now, why am I bringing this up? And I'm actually in terms of the whole universe itself. I think if you don't have a fully set plan, doomed to fail or is doomed to underperform in terms of fans' expectation. And fans' expectation, because the film didn't do that well in the box office. It really failed to meet the qualities to actually justify even making a Justice League 2. Justice League 2 was on the schedule, now is in limbo, as well as everybody involved with the film. And that's, not including some of the after effects of the Harvey Weinstein situation. You also have Spider-Man, who has tried forever to do a Spideyverse without Spider-Man. Venom is going to be the first test of this.
Good. I hope it does good just because I like Tom Hardy. And he's a guy that can play, that has a decent range of characters he can play. So and he's hot. So, I just.
But here's the thing.
And I don't know, I sort of like seeing him more in a villain role than a good guy role.
And here's the problem. This villain will have almost nothing to do with Spider-Man, except he's in the same universe as Spider-Man. Pretty much, if you see Catwoman with Halle Berry, you pretty much know where they may be going with this.
Oh God, I like the Catwoman movie, and hey, if you're going to have a beer and lay down on the couch, or take it easy. But in terms of actual quality, if we're going to go for, the technical, quality, it fucking sucked. It's enjoyable, but that's not what I want in a fucking Venom movie.
And we have the situation with the Mummy. I don't even know where to start with that. But
I've never seen the movie, and I think no one else has either.
Nobody wanted it. So the Dark Universe was never taken seriously from the very beginning when they did that trailer showing you the old monsters. And look, granted, Universal Studios have done it first with their monster series. They did crossovers. That's great. However, the way they approached it with this film, nothing original. And now now the stories of Frankenstein and all the other monsters may not even exist anymore after this. Who knows? And then you have Marvel, who started off, who has been most successful, who has done, and those kept Star Wars out of the picture for a reason. I haven't forgotten about them. I'm going to get back to them in a minute, but I do have to touch, and it's both from Disney, so it goes hand in hand. But the Marvel Universe, it's not going to last forever. We're now seeing the final stage of the Avengers Initiative plan, and stuff is going to hit the fan. A lot of the actors, their contracts are up. A lot of actors haven't even had a solo film in over almost 4 years now. I'm talking about Robert Downey Jr., of course. I'm even going to put in, Captain America. We're not going to see another standalone film with these actors. And so it may bring the question of one is it has the people gone tired of these Universal films, and two, if not, what do you what do you see Hollywood doing in terms of replacing this trend? Because keep in mind, whether I agree with it or not, these are money makers, and they don't want to lose that part of the trend that makes the money. So my guess is Star Wars may be the one standing, despite yes, they got problems. And it's problems more of in-house than anything else because I think they've forgotten the one thing that made Star Wars so relevant, so unique, and even just pretty much so in demand, which I think they have underestimated George Lucas's brilliance and how he promoted Star Wars. But we'll get back to that one in a minute. But in the first hand, you have seen some of the Marvel's movies. You've seen some of the DC movies.
I've seen all of the Marvel movies.
Right, so you're a Marvel fan more than you are a DC fan.
Well, the thing is, I don't know. It's just like I've seen like mostly negative reviews of the DCU, and I've heard the complaints that usually the extended cut is way better than the theatrical cut, so why go to the movies in the first place? I mean, the first DCU movie that I really felt like seeing was that I sort of felt good about going to see was Wonder Woman, which I unfortunately didn't catch until it got to like Blu-ray and DVD, because I'm like, the trailers are good, but Suicide Squad's trailers lied to me. So it's just like it doesn't have a good reputation, and when I'm jumping into something and don't really care about the characters at first, I sort of need motivation to figure out why I should start spending money on it.
So where do you see the Marvel Universe going now? Because I'm pretty sure after the next Avenger film, which pretty much will be the last, this pretty much will end the Marvel Universe. I don't see them continuing not in the same way as we have gotten used to. Because I didn't even know they was doing a cinematic universe until I saw Captain America: The First Avenger.
Yeah, they didn't actually realize they were doing a cinematic universe at first. They just were getting one movie out, and the first Iron Man movie did so well. They're like, well, yeah.
So where you see it coming from there? Because they do have a lot of properties they can work on. Properties that maybe we never heard before, but still has
like Guardians of the Galaxy did great, and like no one had really heard about that before. So I'm worried that they're going to milk it dry, and then things might start failing. It's just like that's my worry, that the interconnected storylines that make the MCU so great are just going to sort of fall apart, because the reason the MCU is able to make so much money, is that you can't just see one film. You have to see a bunch to understand what's going on, especially when the groups come together, like in Captain America: Civil War or the Avengers movies.
Well, I see it more of, okay, we're gonna end it with the last Avenger film. We might reboot some characters. I don't see them rebooting all of them. Like, I don't think we ain't gonna see. We're not seeing another Hulk film for a while. I think it's just, I don't see it. Captain America, I think they're gonna also rest. Captain America, Iron Man are gonna also rest. You can make at least one more Captain America. But it's going to be very, very difficult. But what the question solving is that, in general, the only universe film I think that will actually go beyond after the Marvel Universe is actually Disney other property, if they can get their act together. Star Wars do have potential of doing it. I mean, they always had the potential of doing it, because Star Wars is not just revolved around one character, even though technically they always try to evolve it around the Skywalker clan. You can go beyond that, and I think
Yeah.
they want to. I just don't think they one. I think they're a little bit too scared, and two, I think that they're too influenced by fandom more than just by creativity. And I say this as a feedback to the fanboys and girls of this franchise because you guys want to change, and you got it with the Last Jedi, and you're still upset about it.
Yeah, that was great. We need something new, not like this. Where's the old Star Wars? Oh,
Well, you got it. Now you're upset. Now, to be fair, okay, it ain't the only reason why people are upset. I will say that. If you want my honest opinion about the movie, it's a good movie. It's not a great movie. There's a lot of things I didn't like about the film, but there's a whole lot of things I loved about the film. Um, I do agree. If you agree with the president of Lucasfilm, that woman, about how she said that no woman relates to Luke Skywalker, which I find that kind of ridiculous.
oh, fuck
Uh,
off. Sorry.
I understand it. That was the dumbest thing I probably ever heard of. It makes her
Oh,
feel.
oh, if that's the dumbest thing you ever heard, wait till you hear about this wonderful thing called the internet.
Look, the bottom line is, uh, look, politics and films are always going to go hand in hand. I don't want to. I just want the films to have, be enjoyable and fun. But you will have those who want to influence up their politics based on the film. Um, I'm not one of them. We're going to sit there and say that no woman can be related to Luke Skywalker. I'll be honest, I didn't even watch the film because of Luke Skywalker. I couldn't stand that character, at least until the third film. I was a huge Han Solo fan. He's gone. But to me, um, I always felt that the Star Wars universe was always intriguing because I said, you know what? When I see out of all of the universe that can actually, when I heard they was actually doing another Star Wars film, I said out of all the expanded universe they could done, here is a property that could actually take that concept way beyond the next level. Why focus on just this microscopic scope of this universe? We can go beyond that. You're telling me that this part of the universe only have force wielders? We can go beyond that. Why talk about the stories of just the Jedi if we're going to talk about other colonies and their struggles? So I feel that there's a lot of stuff to be had. Do I think we're going to get it? I don't know. For me, they seem to be more focused on talking about prequels and then actually giving the movies. And look, I don't know how Han Solo is going to do.
Yeah.
I'm not going to
I
say
know.
that's going to be a bad movie. I will say is it's an unnecessary film, and not many people seem to want it. But who knows? It may be very, very good. I just say, do we have to keep going back to pre-New Hope era to get a feel of what's going on with the galaxy? Can we just go forward?
No,
Um,
I think that, you know, if they continue with, trilogies and anthologies, that the trilogies can be moving the timeline forward. Like that can be their purpose, and then the anthologies can go any which way. Like if suddenly, like if we want to learn about more about this one part we saw in one Star Wars movie, there could be an anthology movie that talks about something dealing with it, or about this one character, and it actually can go into more depth. Like the anthologies can just give more depth to the Star Wars universe, while
and
the
that's
while the trilogies can move it forward. Because
well,
when I go with trilogies, I want things to move forward. I just don't want to go all over the place. I want a storyline to follow.
here's the thing. I don't. People are saying this is the end of Star Wars. Star Wars is in trouble. Star Wars is dead. Star Wars ain't
Star
going
Wars
nowhere.
ain't dead.
Okay, it ain't going nowhere. As mad as you guys are, you probably will go and see it. I think word of mouth really did hurt the film, but I don't think it's going to kill the franchise. If that was the case, we wouldn't have the Force Awakens because of the prequels. And regardless of how bad people talk about the prequels, some of you guys deep down actually enjoyed for some of the stuff they got right. So who are we kidding here? Um, I will say this about the Star Wars universe and just general of all of the so-called universe films or studios doing with attempt the universe. If you're going to make this into a format, have a plan, have it already written in stone. I will agree with critics that I don't think Brian Johnson was on the same page with J.J. Abrams. I think the changes that he have done pretty much altered what the original concept was because you're hearing rumblings about this. They want to go this way, but he wanted to go this direction. You have to have a set plan. Two, don't be quick to hire directors off the bat. All right, this has happened with Solo. It also happened with the Episode 9 film that has not come out yet. That's why we have J.J. Abrams coming back. Don't be hesitant. If you're gonna, I have no problem with you changing directors, but make sure they're on the same page. Okay,
Yeah,
this is
like-
what we want you to follow, because some directors have their own vision, and sometimes their ego get in the way of that, and they say, you know, I'm not going to go with this. I want to do with that, and completely throw the whole thing off. So if you're going to have a director, that director needs to be on the same page on what their vision is going to be, so that way it will not come as a surprise. Because I got news for you. Mark Hamill, without him actually saying it's going to be a tough movie to watch, said it was going to be a tough movie to watch with his interviews. When he was asking about the films, the first thing he said, it's going to be a long film. It's one of the weirdest ways because it's like he seems not so eager to promote this film, especially since you heard rumblings is he didn't like how his character was portrayed. And the fact that he thought that George Lucas was going to come back and direct the film, but we leave that for another day. Again, I think that if you're going to make a universe like this, it has to be a set plan, and you cannot be afraid of failures. I don't think we're going to see the lines of expanded universe. I do think that one expanded universe is going to happen. Of course, it's going to be Star Wars. We also forgot Harry Potter still around, technically.
Yeah,
And
technically.
even though I am kind of curious about the this new one, the Crimes of Grindelwald, I think his name is. What the hell this guy is?
Grindelwald.
Grindelwald. It's a British name I never heard before. They just making up these names.
No, Grindelwald. Yeah, that was mentioned in the final Harry Potter book. He was the one that had, one of the Deathly Hallows, the wand.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the guy.
I just want to know how they gonna betray Dumbledore in this one. You got Jude Law playing Dumbledore. I gotta see this.
Now, Jude Law can definitely take on a lot of personas when acting. Like he definitely has some fucking range because you can watch some movies and you have to actually fucking be told he's playing because you're like the guy looks familiar, but I can't place him.
Jude Law. I mean, I liked him as Watson in the Holmes films. It's probably one of the few things I actually like with that series. It's not terrible. It's not my Sherlock Holmes. So
yeah, he was. I forget the name of the fucking movie, but I believe I saw this really weird vampire movie with him in it.
There's a whole lot of weird vampire movies.
It's a B movie. It's a B movie. At least I got one of my great DVD collections in the $5 bin.
So, but like I said, we're not seeing the end of the universe, the child films. I think that, and the one thing I will say about the Harry Potter universe is they're doing it right. I think they're telling a story from a different perspective. Yes, we know it's Harry Potter universe, but it's told right. I think that they're really doing a good job with that. I am curious if it's going to go with the J.R. Tolkien universe of Third Earth. I am curious if they're going to, actually explore that. Huh?
Silmarillion.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of curious.
I've never read it. I've read at least one of the Lord of the Rings books twice, and all of them once, and The Hobbit once, but I've never, picked up the Silmarillion. Tolkien definitely has a way of writing where he's like, I'm forgetting I'm writing a book. Aren't I writing a descriptive essay for 3 or 5 pages? Like, oh yeah, there was a story somewhere.
You always have to criticize for that. He's a good writer, though. I like how his style.
Writer. He's a good writer, and it definitely lends itself well when someone makes a film of it. But it can be a little drudge to, go through.
Look, Look, it can't be any worse than Stephen King. Okay,
Hey,
I read
Stephen
some of his
King is
newer
a
work.
god.
And look, man, it took some 5 pages to describe a pair of jeans. All right, he doesn't do that. I never thought you could actually waste 3 pages describing how this man is wearing jeans and what color his jeans are and how tight his jeans are and what his
Uh,
jeans look like with rainbow sprite. I mean, dude, just he's
no,
wearing jeans. Move
the
on.
only the only time I really remember it's that description sticking out to me was when he was describing how, caskets were put in the ground in Pet Cemetery.
You know, honestly, I don't. I read that Pet Cemetery. It was still praise trying to compare to some of his other work. Human Go is way too descriptive of his stuff. You don't need to tell me how a fly works. Okay, he's a fly. He's buzzing. Good, Miss Mo. Let's go. But we're getting off track here. There are. I'm not. And for those I don't hate Stephen King. I just his older work is just sometimes it's crazy. It's nothing but compared to some of his movies, though, which is kind of amazing how one film I thought was going to be good ended up being bad. And I think that this destroyed any hopes of seeing another Dark Tower film, and how
Oh
one film
God.
nobody expected to do good did extremely well, broke a record of being the best horror film that actually made money that in so many years. So I don't know. But that brings me to back to the universes. I think we still got there's still a little life left, and I think there's Star Wars, Harry Potter, and I know I hate to say this, even Twilight have a chance. Yes, in case you haven't heard, there's been rumors that they're going to continue the Twilight series in a different perspective. So who knows how to
No, like there was rumors of a TV series like years and years and years ago.
they gotta see if it's still in demand. They had to wait for the 50 Shades of Boredom to finish up.
Boring.
So
That's 50 Shades of oh my, which he
so
says so fucking often, and then I always hear George Takai in my head when as I read oh my on that page, and so it's supposed to be a sexy sex scene, and then it's like oh my. Well, there that
well,
goes.
in any case, these franchises all basically are desperate. I think a lot of them have been done wrong, but do right, they can become successful and done good. Another universe which I'm still debating about because I didn't bring it up because I still think it's just a sequel to the other films, and that's the Jurassic World.
Yeah,
Um, I don't consider that to be a reboot. I
it's
really don't
not.
because it's it's Jurassic Park 5. That's what we're dealing with. No, it's not a reboot. It recognized the events that happened the first 3 movies, and it just continue on from there. Um, but I know people's getting tired of it because people are not feeling that the place is about to explode. um, I haven't seen the movie, so I don't know. Um, but there is leads us to our next segment here. I think universe films they're not going to be as popular as it is, and if they do make it, I think they're going to do what DC is originally planning right now is make all these films stand by themselves and not have them. You need to watch one film to understand this film. Have them stand by themselves, make them work by themselves, and just go from there. And I think that's probably the smartest thing DC is going to do. I don't think they're dead, but I think they're going to just reformat it, and who knows what's going to happen. They do need to clean up the act a little bit, but I feel that's with any of the people who want to have this steady universe. Build the foundation, have a plan going forward, and don't be afraid to take risk that may. Because let's be honest, as much as I love the Marvel universe, there were some films I didn't care for. I didn't care for the Iron Man series. I really didn't. I thought Thor 1 and 2 was not interesting. So, and the Incredible Hulk, I was enjoying it, but it wasn't nothing to take home and brag about. So there has been some duds. Um, surprisingly, nobody talks about how successful the X-Men universe was in the last 20 years. But then again, I don't think people will actually count that as a universe. I think Deadpool 2 is going to change all that because Cable's coming in the mix. So we'll see. We'll see. But that brings me to franchises I don't want to see rebooted. franchise I don't want to see get back off the ground. Franchises who should is dead and should stay dead. And there's a couple of them I don't want to see in the films. Um, let's start with my comedy ones. Police Academy. Jordan Peele, you're the man. But Police Academy should never have been a franchise. I liked it 1, 2, and 3, but the one thing about it was actually one that's done with this in reverse. 4 was just a generic version of 1 and 3. 5 was horrible. Okay, so they went on vacation. That's very nice. 6, lots of potential wasted. I don't know what the hell 7 was, but it made only $7,000. So thank you for wasting people's time and money. But now they want to reboot it. Why? Nobody's talking about this franchise. The same thing with Short Circuit. I like Johnny Five, my little nice robot who got turned to light by hit by bolt of lightning. I like this movie. I like the movie. I like the 1 and 2, even though 2 was not as well seen as it was when it first came out. But that's it. Nobody's talking about this film. Do I need to see another RoboCop? RoboCop was one of a kind. Leave it alone. I mean, I'm not saying that the remake was bad, but it was unnecessary. Same thing with Total Recall. We're not making a franchise out of that. Not happening. And sadly, I got to add Terminator to the list. I know they're making another one, but if all you're gonna do is show me how John Connor's getting chased down the street, leave it. I didn't keep it.
Yeah, Terminator Salvation was good in that it focused mainly on other characters.
Yeah,
and it left behind all the John Connor stuff, and said, "Hey, there's actual." Well, it focused more on Marcus, right? That's where the movie began, and his character arc was completed by the end of the movie.
Yeah, look.
Yeah, and then the third
you got another Terminator protecting John Gleese now. John Gleese is being chased in Los Angeles, just like John Connor is. It's basically a camera. I gotta chase this guy because if you look at all these films, they're the same thing. You're chasing a guy. You're chasing this person. You're chasing this person down the street. You're chasing them down the highway, dude. Get to the war, please. You had a chance to do with the war.
They had the war started at the beginning of Terminator Genesis, and then it was back to fucking, before the war. And it's like, oh, this is cool. This is war stuff.
I'm just saying.
It's like, no, let's not give away the interesting stuff that fans have been waiting for years, and we can correct the mistakes done in the previous Terminator movie. Let's just go back in time again.
Look,
maybe if they go to back in time of the dinosaurs.
My favorite critic said it best. Why are we continuing going back where we should go forward?
Exactly.
I do not want to see. I don't want to see it anymore. If you're gonna do that, just end the franchise with Genesis. Leave it alone. Okay. You're not gonna bring. You're not the mother of dragons ain't coming back for this franchise. So just leave it alone.
It's it was sort of interesting to see this take on, God damn it, on Sarah Connor and Kyle Reese's relationship, because I like how they did the relationship in Genesis more than the original. The original was like, okay, I hate you, let's fuck. Oh, I'm deeply in love with you now.
That's 80s movies for you. What can I tell you?
I know it was even worse with the third Halloween movie, where it's like there's no connection between the man and the woman, and then suddenly they're having sex. I'm like,
and like I said, 80s is 80s. That's all I gotta say. It's 80s.
It's still hilarious.
I'm like, look, I would be all for a Terminator film if you're telling me you're getting me a new take on it. It's gonna go by the period of the turning point of the war. I'll be here for that because we have yet to see that. But if all you're gonna do is see pictures of John Connor being heroic just to send another robot back in time, do me a favor and just leave it alone. All right, leave it alone because you're not being original. You're not giving me anything new.
like the TV
Transformers.
series Terminator: The Sarah Connor Chronicles did
That
a
was
great.
different.
I know. I'm just saying that's what I loved about that was that it really expanded stuff. It's like you got to see new viewpoints, and it's like if the movie sort of. Oh,
I just don't want to
yeah.
see this. I don't want to see that, and that's why I said there are certain franchises that just to stay dead. Transformers. Let's be honest. Is Transformers one just retold in a different story?
It's like we just.
Let's be honest. And let's keep it real. Transformers, they can land on Earth. No, oh wait, they was already here during this time period. No, wait, they was here in this time period. Now they're here before King Arthur. What is? Which one is it?
Which one?
How are you keeping? How you keep? How they been the secret all this time when they've been here in this planet more than we thought? Come on now. After a while, you just gotta say, you know what? This is ridiculous. You're not even trying anymore. You're rebooting your own movie.
Good.
You
Yeah,
know?
I agree with you with the Terminator that they need to actually do something new
Yeah, I
because
mean,
and with Transformers, I just sort of gave up the first time I watched the second movie. I mean, so many people have come to me and said, "Oh, Josh, it's like the first one's actually really good." And like after the crap I saw with the second one, I don't know if I can, sit through something.
uh, like I said, sometimes I just wonder. Like last year, I was just actually smiling. I was seeing certain reviews of this movie. And I'm like, you guys really did a fourth one, did you? And you expected to have good things. The long haul, Die Won't Be Kid. I was just like, wow.
What the fuck?
Yeah, they made a four. I was like, wow, we not
Wait,
even.
there's a fourth movie?
Yeah, you didn't even know that, didn't you?
No, I knew the first one. I didn't know that there were sequels. Dear God.
Yeah. So the long haul was like, yeah, you really stretched your suit. The guy.
Oh, wait, I remember seeing the trailer for that now. I just didn't realize it was the fourth movie in the franchise.
You know, I'm actually gonna hunt down though. I'm actually hunting down the sequel to Hey Arnold.
Okay.
Yeah, the Jungle movie. It explains what happened to his parents, and I actually want to see that. But we will talk about that later.
We'll talk about the good shit later.
Like I said, I'm tired of seeing films that doesn't give anything new. It gets sequels, and I'm like, really, guys, you're not trying. You wonder why this film messed up. That's why, in case you're wondering why Smurfs 3 didn't do well, Smurf 2 bombed, and they made a sequel, and that bombed even worse. People, and you know why it bombed? Because parents did not appreciate watching a film for 2 hours that was nothing more than a commercial. They were trying to sell you candies, M&Ms, Blu-rays, just about everything that you can possibly kids can beg for, except actually giving a good movie. And you wonder why I'm mad at you to see Sesame Street? But like I said, these are friends. Like I said, if you're not gonna give me something original, don't bother. All right, don't stop trying to reboot Revenge of the Nerds. Straight up, Revenge of the Nerds was a one and done film with sequels was absolutely terrible. It was so bad they didn't make it theater. They went on television. Nerds in Love. Give me a break. So what's your film that you don't want to see?
Yeah. Well, I'm going to agree with the Terminator because I actually sort of enjoy Terminator Genesis, letting it sit around for a while. But I swear to God, like, one thing that made me feel angry at it at first was when it's like, oh, we're going back in time again, because it's like, this is just fuck. It's like, yes, stay in the war. Stay in the fucking war. Why are we going back in time? It just fucking sucks. It's like, unless they're going to cover the war, I just am now totally uninterested in a Terminator movie. And the only reason I will see any sequel Terminator movies is because I hate myself and I need to see every movie.
Look, they're making that movie the same way as making Halloween with Jamie Lee Curtis. Didn't they kill her character off already?
That's what I've heard.
I mean, why are we doing this again?
It's
Oh,
just,
you know those other films that we made. We don't. They don't count. We're just gonna make it between the third one again. So, uh,
it's also I'm God damn it. Now something just I had something oh yeah, Harry Potter. I mean the first 8 movies were good, but I don't know, I just and the Magical Beasts and Where to Find Them was decent, but
it's
I
not
don't
Harry
really
Potter
want it to
though.
go on. I don't really want it to go on forever because it's just like I don't really
The,
care at this point. Like she's just sucked it dry. Like
no, it's just that studio is saying like you're gonna give us another Harry Potter movie. We need this money.
it's just like now I can't really get into it. And it's like they need to finish these, ones with Newt, whatever the last name is, and then just end it.
Though, here's the funny thing though. I would not mind seeing another prequel, but here's the thing though. I want to see about these four teachers. I want to go
Oh
back
god.
to way back. I
Oh
want
god,
to
that
see.
would be interesting.
I want to know what made Gryffindor, Ravenclaw, Hufflepuff, and Slytherin so special. I want to know if that school Hogwarts was named that they just picked random from a dictionary, or was it named after a teacher who taught them? I want to know how the Wizarding World what happened and led to the splitting up the world between the world. How did they manage to pull this off? You don't keep me back there, I'm in. Because see, the thing is, the one thing that they leave a hint, there is some kind of fear, not from the Muggle side, but from the Wizard side of the Muggles finding out about them. So that fear means something, and I like to
Yeah,
explore that.
I would like to explain the fear more because the excuses they give, like, oh, they would get really lazy with magic, and you who use magic all the time, oh, they'll like if they're scared of it, it's like okay. They're like when they're kids, they're scared. They're sometimes scared of their own fucking shadow. It's like it's
So
certainly
I'm
it's not a
very
big
curious.
reason. It's not a good reason they give in the book. So yeah, you're right. If they have a prequel movie or movies that explore that, I would actually really fucking like to see that.
Because the one thing I will say about Jake Holland is in universe and fashion, the one thing that always bothers look, is sci-fi can actually make another prequel of the origin of Superman before it was Superman with Krypton. There should be no reason why we can't go back in time and find out what's going on with how these teachers became to be. What's made what made these houses so unique? What led to them almost breaking up? Because it will actually bring more depth into why each house is what it is. They still don't explain Luna Lovegood, but hey, and I will do a special on that. By the way, we will talk about that when we get off the air. But stop yawning.
So I'm sorry, and just like I stretched and there was accidentally a yawn.
Yeah. Anyhow, I don't know if you heard any news or lately about the Pokemon movie, the live action version. Did they stop doing that or not?
I don't know.
No.
That's more of Kat's area of expertise.
Okay. Yeah. Unfortunately, I was gonna ask her, did they actually abandon that idea? Because Pokemon Go is not going as I thought it would. That seemed to died out almost.
Yeah, I keep on meaning to, but I keep not doing it because maybe when I move, I can. I just don't really like leaving the house.
See, I don't count. Then you're not a Pokemon catcher.
Yeah, the thing, no, it's just like if I was in the Pokemon world, I would, I'd be going like, oh, I'm 10, fuck you, see you guys.
It's the only place in the world where they allow a 10-year-old to go in the middle of the woods by themselves with.
Desert, oceans, caves.
Yeah, people mad about Yu-Gi-Oh, but Pokemon is perfectly normal. Um, let's get to some serious news right now. Cause
God.
Because you only told me about Transformers, Terminator. You didn't tell me about any other movies you don't want to see continue.
Oh God. Oh, Taken. That's the last one I'll just take because they've already done 2 unnecessary sequels and a TV series. Hopefully they're good enough, just let it die. I mean, the only reason I watched the movies was Liam Neeson, so I never watched the TV series because I'm just like, no Liam Neeson. I don't really give a shit.
No, this is before Liam Neeson became the man.
I
That's a
know,
prequel.
but not Liam Neeson. It's the character, but not the actor.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't know that Liam Neeson had that effect on you.
Some guys do.
All right, let's get down to serious business here. Oh man, Facebook. What have you guys have started? In case you guys haven't heard, I'm gonna actually see if I can actually pull this up because it's actually a big deal. And this is why you got to be very careful of what you sign, what you agree to, especially with these social networks, because they do, in many cases, have the right to sell your personal information. Um, However, doesn't excuse the fact that they did it without the acknowledgement of the a person. And this is something dealing with a survey site that has been around for a while. And what has happened was they do surveys, but what they don't do is use that survey to try to manipulate or basically swing certain things to a certain group's favor. Donald Trump has used this thing, yes, he did, but he wasn't the only one. A lot of politicians have used this. That's not the issue. Honestly, that doesn't really bother me because, frankly, I'm not stupid enough to actually let something like a few words pump me up, especially if I don't know what that is. What bothers me is that a lot of people who had their personal information compromised by this group didn't know their personal information was being sold. And that's the problem here. Um, the problem is that there, that one, there was Duke, that was not aware this was happening, and three, Facebook let it happen. Now, Facebook did respond and remove that group off their site, but the damage has been done, and now there's going to be countless lawsuits. A state already filed the first suit, and it's going to bring a lot of precedents into what social networking sites, just basically all sites, can and cannot do with your personal information. Again, I cannot stress this. When you are on these sites, you are subject to that, man. They are, subject to sell personal information. Um, that's how you see commercials in YouTube. They have a reason. One of the reasons, if I was talking about politics, of course, it's going to be a political statement on a commercial if I choose to monetize my videos, which I have not done, at least not yet. But in any case, this common practice can sometimes be corrupted, especially if you don't know. When you click on a site, when you even click on your email, you run the risk of giving information to that site. And they're supposed to give you an option. They're supposed to tell you, look, you're actually clicking onto this site. You're giving information to this site. We don't know what this site is. You may run the risk of having your personal information compromised. Hell, just by me being on this format, because keep in mind, I'm using Starbucks web feed. It's not secured because it's a public open site. The same thing with some of the high Wi-Fi hotspots that they plant all over New York. You run the risk of having your information compromised, and you have to be aware of that. So again, that's not the issue. The issue was that all these people was not aware of what this agency was doing. They was on the assumption they was doing a survey and nothing more. What was also the situation here is the fact is that you have Mike Zuckerberg, who already had been criticized by by protecting public information before. This is not the first time we have seen this. It's now under the hot seat, and many people said he needs to stand trial. He needs to testify. He needs to explain how they let this happen, because even though he may have inadvertently have led this group to people, he's still responsible, making sure that the people are on the up and up and let them know what they're getting into. And many people feel that because it's on Facebook, he should share the responsibility. I feel in many ways yes, but also I also put more of the blame on the agency who have done that, more so than on Facebook. But many people disagree. What do you feel about this? Because I know you got a Facebook account,
Yeah.
and are you concerned? Because I don't. I have Twitter, Tumblr. I know what I'm getting into. I know who I'm speaking to. Many times I don't, click into surveys like that. But
I
Facebook
never
is a little bit
click into
different.
surveys. I don't click the surveys. I just don't really. I mean, I
Have you
do.
heard about
The
this?
only I heard, yeah, I did hear about it, and the company. I think, God damn it, I forget it, the company, but the company said, "Oh, this is just a survey," and it took the information of the people taking it and then expanded it into taking the information of people from their friends list.
Yes.
So it started with like I think like 76,000, and then it ended up with like 206,000. People from the survey, and yeah, I don't click those. I
Hmm.
don't click, but I will click like a little test that says, "Oh, see, this really stupid shit."
But
Every
are you? But here's the thing: are you worried about? Because again, this is you've gone on Facebook. I'm not. Are you concerned about your privacy being compromised? And and if so, should Facebook, in your own opinion, should be doing a better job of securing people's personal information?
well, I'm I'm concerned somewhat. I mean, I'm able to go on the site and have a good time and not really worry, but I know that information can get stolen, and these things do happen. And I think it's the job of Facebook to make sure that, to the best of their abilities, that information isn't stolen. I mean, I think during the election we had Russians posting things, and it's and they were like paying in rubles or whatever, and Facebook didn't catch on to that, and now we have another story where information was compromised. It's just, I think they do need to crack down a little bit, just because when you go to any site, you have to trust in the people running it that you're going to be safe while going on. They can make mistakes because, they're only human, but they should still they should bear some responsibility for giving users a safe experience.
So you seem pretty mixed. So you're not, and it's safe to say you're not quitting Facebook anytime soon.
No, I'm not quitting Facebook. I know it's more complicated issue, and the thing I want to do is, break out in rage and just blame somebody, but I don't know exactly what was happening on Facebook's side. It's just shit happens. But I'm not happy about it, but I just don't want to suddenly start blaming, you know, raging when I feel I don't have all the information I need to start blaming someone.
Okay, that's fair enough. And so I guess the big question is, if you, since you're a Facebook user, and just basically I'm going to make my own thing, what is the best way for the user or subscriber, you know, to avoid some of the stuff I have again? What are at least three advices you can tell our nice audience from the pre-games? How would you actually,
You need to
and for the
check. Oh, sorry, continue.
for those who don't know, it says here, Facebook accused of massive fraud in a new lawsuit filed in Cooks County. This is something that's going on right now. The Facebook and Cambridge Analytica, that's what it is now
Oh
facing
yeah,
tax.
I know it had Analytica. I didn't know that. So yeah.
So, so this is serious because again, with all the situation with hacking and internet fraud and places being compromised, the last thing you want to hear is having a company doing one thing. And I'm gonna be real honest with you guys. Uh, they, to me, I'm not even really that upset with Facebook. More so than I'm upset with the fact is that you have a group of people who said this was just a survey and basically the polar opposite. Basically, I'm gonna leave you a link there. Basically, the polar opposite, and then take that information and basically did a scumbag move um, with the information. I'm not, you know, Facebook probably didn't know they was doing this for all we know. So keep that in mind. But again, it has happened, and now as people subscribers, not just for Facebook, for any social networking site, we need to be more careful about this. I'm gonna read what it says here, but I want Josh to explain the three things, or at least her ways.
Okay.
Okay, well, let me just cut that off there because I almost got that video feed. Um, what's your three things you want to tell our audiences what to do to avoid this kind of thing from happening to them?
I would be careful of any links you click. I mean, even when friends send me links, I'll sometimes.
Go ahead, I'm listening.
Okay, I'm sorry. I just wait for something to explode there. Just
can't go. Thank you.
Be careful of any links you click. Even when a friend sends me a link, I will double or triple check with them. Because sometimes it isn't even just like a survey. Sometimes a bot will send something to your Facebook account and it's from a friend, and so you're like, okay, and you click on it and it can give a virus to your account, your computer. And then it sends that virus to your other friends list, the other people on your friends. So just be very careful of what exactly you click, what you're signing up for.
All right. So is that all, or you want to continue on?
Also, Facebook, check the privacy settings because sometimes they may switch it without telling you. I think I've heard that happen. I need to actually check my privacy settings after this podcast.
All right. Straight up and down. Look, guys. When you're in these, just know you gotta always keep in mind when you're checking your emails, when you're checking, when you're going to these social websites. Just know that you're being opened up for these type of things to happen. And the best way to do it is to ask yourself a few things. One, did I subscribe to this? Two, what are they trying to sell me, or what are they trying to do surveys? And three, how long is their terms of agreement is? Because here's the thing. Analytica, for what I know, they probably did have something written in stone saying, yeah, we will, share and sell your information to this and that. Here's the thing. I'm pretty sure half of us, if we really sit down and don't read those, little contract papers, term of service and stuff that's like almost as long as like a 100-page book. If it's too long, don't sign into it. Two, I noticed it sounds like a pain in the ass. Do your research on the place. Analytica, who are they? What are they? What do they do? Who are they connected with? Who are they linked to? Don't just click on them and say, oh, I'm good. Do a history report on them sometimes. But more importantly, don't feel you need to click on any survey you can. Because I guarantee you this, and this is something I did a test run on college. We actually open up a different email account. And this was, and the professor said, okay, now go purchase this. Now they had a whole network to make sure there was no virus in there, and he was right there watching this. He said, you can win a free computer. I said, that's fine, that's great. Oh, that's cool. I said, now keep going. And they gave us all these surveys. And we was wondering, we got to click on all these surveys. Oh, it's not a big problem. That took 20 minutes.
Holy fuck.
Just clicking on, do you like soap? Do you like, vacation things? Where will you go at? If you want diapers, which you prefer? And you're clicking on these. There's actually a reason why I do this. And then when you finally reach the point where you can actually finally get the computer, guess what? You have to buy a program. It's not free. Okay, with all that situation, you cancel that, you're on the surveys. He said the one question, check your mailbox. Didn't know why you wanted to check his mailbox. We had 3,400 and some people have more, almost 7,000 of spam mail.
Oh my fuck.
Those surveys are not surveys. You're basically telling them what you want to buy. So that immediately gives a red flag, gives a flag towards the companies that it's linked to send you more stuff on the mail. So all the money, you want to know why you get spam mail? Because sometimes those surveys that you do are basically advertisements for them to push on you via by email. That's why they have spam mail just for that. But it was so overwhelming. I kid you not, it was 3,000 plus mail. Somebody had 7,000, and they're like, "We didn't get the computer. We got a whole lot of stuff on email about stuff we didn't really want." And he told us this. He said, "This is why those surveys are not real surveys. You need to be mindful of that. They're telling this for a reason, and it's to see where your head is and where they can actually either one manipulate you to doing something, or B try to sell you something based on the questions you give." So those surveys again are nearly something of, okay, what do we want to sell you? Okay, we'll bring you this on your mailbox, and that's how they get you. That's how they get you. So anytime you see those free things, it's not always free. All right, the surveys, always ask yourself, what's the catch? Always put that there. What's the catch? Why are you giving the survey? All right. Same thing with when I got my new phone. I am my old phone has a blocking system on it. I forgot to put it on this one, but it doesn't really matter. Nobody really called me. No sooner I got this phone, there's people calling me up that won this. I said that's very nice, but I didn't. But you do know I didn't enter any contest, right? I said no, but you're been selecting this survey. I said I stopped it right there. I said before you even go there, whatever you're selling, I'm not interested. They hung up quick.
I just, whenever I answer the phone and if it sort of pauses for a moment or it's like, there's something wrong with your credit score, or where it's, I think I've gotten some winning things before, but I just automatically hang up because once some scams actually involve you just saying words and then they can take that and use voice recognition or something.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, so if anyone ever gets one of those like spam voicemails, just hang up. Don't say anything.
Yeah, because that's the whole thing. Now again, Analytica was around for a while, so I know that. But what they did was just honest. They needed to. They basically put a wool in people's eyes, which can be catch. All you had to do is just simply ask yourself, what is this? What is this thing means? And mostly, if you got a live operator, ask them, what do you plan to do with this information? Who's getting this information? If they can't give you a direct answer, no, thank you. Or tell them to call you right back. I said, look, call me back, and you do your own research, and then you'll find that hey, maybe this guy ain't up and up. Now again, I don't know what more Facebook can do. All right, I think that when it comes to things like that, they can. If somebody reports it and complains about it, I think they will act. But then again, when you're in the social media platform, how often do they support these type of activities? Some people just ignore it. They don't really report it, and so they probably was done this for a long, long time, and people just didn't. You just not caught on to it. If you reported, I'm pretty sure Facebook would have done something more, especially if the volume is high. When people say, "Hey, look, man, you got to deal with this situation. They're doing something shady." But if there's very little or no one's saying anything about it, then they're not going to take it as too seriously. I think they're going to change a lot. I think they're going to change their policies on what they can and cannot do with that platform. But I think to say they're totally responsible, I would say about some cases, yeah, but in most cases, no.
No, we need to know how much information they actually knew about it, like the Cambridge Analytica. They might have thought that it was, like a legal thing, and then they're like, okay, we'll let you put those, survey ads out.
Again, I'm not trying to make excuses for Facebook.
Yeah, I just don't know.
I just want to make it very clear. I just want to make it very clear. It's very, and when it comes to social media, we get on YouTube a lot for what they do in terms of how they demonetize people's videos and do all the strikes. But you gotta understand something. There's pressure coming from somewhere, so I can understand why that thing is happening. And plus, can we honestly say this? And I'll talk about this in a future video. YouTube is no longer a social site, not the way I used to know it. So their platform pretty much equals those in other businesses. With that being said, Facebook is the same way. And look, I don't think anybody's going to jump the unsubscribe to Facebook over this mess. But I think that people need to be more cautious, and Facebook needs to be more cautious. And I think that if they testify, I think that will put Zuckerberg under the bus, saying, "How much did you really knew was this going on? Did you participate in this? Did you get money for this? And if you did not, and if you didn't was aware of it, what are you going to do to prevent it from happening again?" I think that's the main key. But again, a lot of this could easily be prevented if people be aware of what they're signing up for and what they're supposed to do a survey on. And that's pretty much the bottom line about that. We can actually prevent some of this stuff from happening. Again, what Analytica did wasn't technically illegal. What they did was wrong was they didn't inform nobody of what they plan to use with the information or how they was going to recruit others in information unwillingly. That's where I have a problem with. Other than that, it's a very in between area what can and cannot happen on Facebook. I think it's going to be a wait and see situation. It's going to be interesting because it will change the way people will use a social media network to gather information against others, especially those who are not aware that's what's going on. Josh?
Yeah.
Yep.
What?
All right, before we head out, let me just give a moment of silence to Toys R Us, who will be leaving the United States effective immediately. Very, very sad to see them go down. And I'm also very worried because there really is no mega chain that can replace them. There really isn't. KB Toy Store is gone. So Toys R Us was the one left. But they made a lot of weird decisions, bad decisions that end up costing them in the long run. I am kind of curious as to what's going to happen to Babies R Us, because that's the same affiliate, especially with FL Sports. But I don't think they're going to be affected because that's like a Hallmark chain. But then again, they are part of the Toys R Us affiliate. But Toys R Us, at least in the U.S., is gone. They're finished. I will tell you, the only memory I can safely say I had with Toys R Us was, besides seeing the commercials, was seeing people fight over the Power Ranger toys. I absolutely love it. And it wasn't even kids. That was a beautiful part about it. You literally almost saw a brawl happening in one aisle over a Power Ranger toy. And to put it in perspective, Power Rangers was a big, in terms of the toy market, was a big thing. If you didn't get it early, you wasn't getting it. It was like Elmo.
Oh, God.
That's how crazy it was. But we had news reports about people getting stabbed over that, over a Power Ranger toy.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. That made New York news. I said, yeah. Your parents said, we kids, right? You guys to stab each other for these toys. Go ahead.
There you go. Ahead. Show us how to be adults.
Have you ever shopped in Toys R Us, and what's your fond memory?
Oh, fuck. I don't have a memory like that there. I do remember going into Toys R Us before. And there was like a Toys R Us that was close by to Dad's house. And I remember going there, I think, to get with someone to get a birthday gift for some kid. And just sort of wandering around the store. I might have gone in there with Brian. I can't remember if I did or not.
That's sad when you don't have fond memories of Toys R Us. That's why we have business.
I have fond memories of passing them by. I mean, like, they're part of the scenery.
They ain't gonna be a part of the scenery for long. Are any of them still open? Are any of them still open in Florida?
I'm not sure. I didn't really check any by my house. So
Oh well, maybe one day they make a resurgent, but I seriously doubt it. In any case, look at the bright side.
what's the bright side?
I was waiting. I was like, damn, she ain't waiting. She's like, there ain't gonna be no bright side.
Yeah, I paused for a moment to allow you. Then I'm like, there's not going to be a bright side, is there?
I was gonna say Atari's making a comeback, but then again, I don't remember you playing Atari, so.
I don't know. I don't really play console games.
Ah, yes, I forgot you're a DS fan.
No,
Like my
it's
coworker.
my hands can't really fucking work, fan. And I need to fucking finish up playing Dead Space Extraction. I only have one more level to go, but I was getting my ass handed to me so badly that I'm one of those people that's like, it's your fault I'm losing, so I'm not going to pay attention to you for a while. Then a year passes and then the next. Maybe when I finally move, that will be the big breaking in thing. Getting my ass kicked again.
You got time. All right, that's all we have today. We'll be back to our basic style, as usual. There are a lot to talk about. We do have a lot of movies coming out. When is Solo coming out? This next weekend, or it's coming out in May, right?
What comes out?
Solo.
I have no. Hang on, let me check.
It should be in May.
Shit, damn it. I'm sorry. I had something else opened. Fine. Solo Star Wars release date.
Mhm.
May 25th.
Okay, well, we got time. The first summer Star Wars film since the prequels. Kind of be interesting to see how that works. But then again, I'm kind of curious about the summer lineup in general because a lot of film that I thought was going to be come out in the summertime didn't came out in the summertime. It came out during the fall and winter. So, like I said, I did not expect to see Black Panther in the winter lineup. It came out that time. Still enjoyed it though. So who knows? We'll see how that works out. But this is the one film everybody said would be the first major bombed. I don't know how much money this movie costs, but who knows? We are going to be talking about the most expensive shows ever canceled, and we're going to be doing some newsletters from entertainment world, and actors we want to see come back acting. You got a couple of them that's on your list. I know you can't wait to see, this guy from Twilight come back.
Very funny.
But yeah, it never happened. And we'll continue on that trend from there. We got 5 stories we'll be going usual. We're going to talk about some of the stuff free for all. When is the Wheel of Fortune going to end? We're going to keep a track on that. And fanfics. So, yes, this is the new season. In any case, guys, I'm only roaming around, but we are going to do 5 stories. We are going to keep track of some of the movies, headlines that are coming out, particularly some of the films that are due to come out, but actually got pulled at the very last minute. And we really must get the question of why. Also, I'm just going to say right off the bat, I'm going to be talking about Disney's live action division. Not as much as their recreator of the fairy tale renaissance thing they've been doing lately, but a sequel that I never really thought they can actually do, and I'm actually kind of curious if this is worth it. You know what I'm talking about, Mary Poppins. I've seen the trailer, but I also want to talk about it because I really don't know. I really don't know what I feel about it. It looks interesting, but I feel it's stuck in the 1950s or 60s, and I don't know if that's gonna work. but today's audiences. Not to say that musicals are bad. It's just there's musicals, and then there's musicals that represents our timeline. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
who knows? We'll talk further about that. But you got anything you want to say, Josh, before we head out? Go ahead and say it now.
Um, I'm still working on Chronicles of Gaia. chroniclesofgaia.blogspot.com. I got a chapter released relatively recently, and probably next week I'm going to get the behind the scenes post out about it, and that will be a Patreon exclusive. So if you like the chapter and you like the series and you want to know more about it, that will be happening. And I'm also working on another fanfic that right now has, I think 2 or 3 chapters left of it. It's on Archive of Our Own. My username there is Jashikins, and it's a Jorah Daenerys fic. So, if you don't like that pairing, don't read it. Don't torture yourself. Don't go to it just to tell me, oh, I don't like that pairing, because it's like, I know people don't like it. What else is new? I'm also doing my YouTube on my YouTube channel, Jash Reads. I'm reading all the Animorphs books, and currently I'm on number 3, The Encounter, and I'll be getting the next chapter out later tonight.
All right. And as you always know, if you've seen Jessica Reed, you know exactly what she's talking about. For those who have not read her more interesting exotic stuff, you've been warned.
It's not that exotic. I mean, it's, if you're worrying about like the bread and jelly thing, it's like really fucking tame compared to that.
I bet it is. But in any case, I hope you guys have been enjoying this nice winter. I know I haven't, because it's been snowing like crazy and messing up my work schedule. But for those who are, enjoying, I'm glad we're back. And as always, it's part of MaticExpression.com. Whenever I get the chance to put this on MaticExpression.com. And for the most part, we're going to be back on a hopefully regular schedule, depending if Josh is going to be going anywhere next week. We'll be doing mostly editorials and everything else. So until next time, this is J77 saying take care, be safe, and we'll talk again soon. Later.
Adios.